Let's go. Oh my god. So which problem is that? Is that five? One, two, three, four, five. Come on. I said six. No, it was five, five, five. So sup y'all. That's 5/35. I know I look drunk, but I'm not. I trust me, I'm not. I'm just sleepy. Like I'm really sleepy right now, so that's why I be talking like that. But I'm fine. So it's 5/35. So for those who actually just came along, so 5:35 is on my grade. So that's where I'm at. So I have like 35 problem to review. So I'm on the fifth one. So that's why you have like 5/35. So it's on my grade right now. So I don't know what y'all be talking about. So just stop if y'all were talking about something. So we have on the fifth problem, so we have simple inequality. So right now they ask us to do everything that we did previously in number four, which is first of all solve the inequality, and once you'll be solving the inequality, so graph the solution set, write the solution set in simple notation and interval notation. Sorry. That's what they ask us to do actually in the number five. So we're gonna first of all start by solving the inequality. And to do that, so we're gonna start with the first step, grouping everything together. So we have y's, one y, I was about to say y's. We only have one y and two numbers. So we're gonna group the numbers together because we only have one y, so we don't have to worry about the y. So we're gonna leave it over there where it is. So it's gonna be 2y, and we're not gonna change the sign yet because we didn't divide or multiply anything by any numbers. So it's just gonna stay the way that it is. 19 and 1. So the 1 will be positive 1 because the 1 will goes from one side to the other one. So like you switch the sides, you obviously need to switch the sign too. It's gonna be positive 1. So it's gonna be 2y. Put the sign in the middle. Still don't change it here. 19 plus 1, which is 20. So right now we have 2y. Oh man. So right now we have 2y with less than 19 plus 1, or 2y less than 20. So we will try to get the right by itself. In order to get the right by itself, we need to get rid of the 2. And like we need to get rid of the 2, so we'll divide by 2. So we'll divide by -2, not 2. So that we can get the right by itself. And if we do divide the right by -2, we'll also need to do the same thing for 20, because we can multiply or divide one side and forget about the other one. That's how we're gonna divide the first one by -2 and the other one by -2. By doing so, you will have the right by itself because the -2 will cancel out. And 20 over -2 will be 10. So that's where you will have to change your sign. Why you will have to change your sign? Just because you divided by -2, which is a negative number. So we'll flip the sign. So the sign was pointed to the left, so right now it's pointing to the right. So this is your solution, a final solution. So the first step has been completed, which is solve the inequality. So it'll be 1 completed. So we're gonna do the other one. So they said to write the solution using the sepal notation. We seen the sepal notation in the first video. So the sepal notation is really easy. So the only thing that you need to do is put the brackets. I'm gonna use the same color that I was using. You put the brackets, right? And the term that you're dealing with, is it Y, is it A, is it Z? Because it can be any of those letters. So don't be surprised if you have an X. So in this case it's Y. So I'm gonna put the or sign and then copy and paste the inequality that you have, which is Y greater than 10. -10 actually. That was a mistake because 20 divided by -2 is 10. Is -10, not 10. Because when you do 10 by 2, it's 20. But when you do -10 by 2, it's -20. y'all see what I'm talking about? Pretty sure y'all did. So yeah, but for our case, it's none of that. So we have negative 10 and negative 2. So if we multiply them, so we have to get the 20, not negative 20, because negative by negative is positive. So it's going to be 20, which is the thing that we had at the beginning. So our solution is 20, because positive and negative is negative. It's going to be negative 10. There you have it. So the simple notation has been completed, which is the second step completed. So how to write the simple notation? Brackets, inequality, I say term, letters, whatever you want to call it. Let's say term, which is T, the or sign, and then you copy and paste the inequality. That's it. So you don't have to do any calculation, any complicated graph, because you don't even need the graph to actually do that. That's the way that it is. That's the way that I always say. And right now we're gonna write the interval notation, which is a little bit complicated. Not complicated, less easier than the first one. In order to write the interval notation, we need to do the graph. How are you gonna do the graph? So you're gonna trace number line. This is tracing number line, and the middle, which is 0. So in order to say where you are on the number line, so negative infinity, which is on the left, positive infinity, which is on the right, and negative 10. Negative 10 is negative, so negative 10 will be on the left. Jesus, that's not negative 10. That's everything, but not. There you go, negative 10. So right now, in order to know what we're gonna do is so in order to know what we're gonna do, so we need to go back to the solution and see with which sign we are dealing with. So we are dealing with greater than, right, but not equal, so it won't be included. So therefore we'll use parentheses, not brackets. So in order to know if the brackets will be face toward positive infinity or negative infinity, so we actually need to see the solution set and pick a number from the number line, and if the number does verify it, so the brackets will face toward the direction of the number that verify the inequality that we have. In this case, if we take 10 for example, right, 10 which goes toward the positive numbers, so on the right, 10 will be able to verify the inequality that we have. If we do take 15, we plug 15 on the y, 15 will also be able to verify the inequality because 15 is greater than negative 10. Any numbers from the positive side will be able to verify the inequality. Therefore, we will say that the negative 10 the brackets for negative 10 will go toward the positive numbers, which is on the right. There you have it. That's the graph. They ask you for the graph actually? Yeah, graph the solution. So that's step 3 for your problem. It said to graph it, so you just graph it. That's the solution that you graph. So the number, you put your number line, you put the number that you have, the number that you're dealing with, and you put any numbers in the number line so that you can verify the inequality. Once the inequality is verified from a specific number, locate the number, locate where it is in the number line. So that's why it's really important to put negative infinity and positive infinity so that you know in which side that you are and write your solution. There you go. So you have the negative 10, which go towards the positive numbers because the positive numbers are the numbers that verify the inequality that we have. So right now, which is the last thing that we're going to do is write the interval notation. So in the interval notation is pretty much the interpretation of the solution that we have. So the interval notation is pretty much this section. That's it, nothing more. So we're just going to take it the way that it is. By doing negative 10, we know negative 10, we won't use brackets because The solution is not included, the solution is not equal, so we're going to use the parentheses the way that it is in the graph. This is the reason why it's really important to make the graph, which goes towards the positive numbers, positive infinity, and we know that we'll never use brackets and positive infinity, so that's why we use parentheses. And then that's your first solution, which is implementation. So we have an inequality. It asks us to solve the inequality, which is the step 1. Step 2, you write it on set builder notation using the brackets. Step 3, you graph it. Step 4, you give us the interval notation. It was not complicated, but you need to really put your mind into what you're doing, because mistake can come really easily, like I did with the negative thing. That's actually a thing, so you'll make mistakes, so that's why we need to practice. So, but I do know as long as you keep practicing, so you will catch those mistakes really early on, and you won't be able to get penalized just because you didn't verify something. So practice, make mistake, correct yourself, and move on, because that's just a phase.